no matter where you're going to serve country ham, in my opinion at least, you got to serve it with grits, tasty grits. So I'm going to show you. I have a little milk in here and a little bit of butter. Wow. It's a fancy cooking show. And a little salt and some pepper, as much pepper as you'd like. Now, you can get like really crazy with grits, as I have before. And it's amazing to me that, you know, people go, yum, polenta, $27.50 a bowl. And they go, yuck, grits, 99 cents. I don't know. I'm missing something there. But anyhow, what you want to do, I don't know if this is where it's got its name from, but I guess a lot of people put their nose up to grits because it tastes like grit. And the reason why it tastes like grit is because they don't cook them. And if you don't cook them, then you get the gritty taste. But you got to cook them. It's a food of love thing. What you want to do is start with some milk. You don't want to use milk, use water, seasoning, butter, and then you add in the grits. I'm using a whisk first, but I'm quickly going to make the move and go to a wooden spoon. And basically what you then do is you just sort of let this go, and I tell people, look, there's a reason why there's like a dial on the stove. I don't know if you guys have like figured that out yet, why it's like medium low, medium high. You know, you just don't have to like crank it up all the way up. You know, eyebrows are missing I mean, it's amazing because they just like crank it up so high. That's why I've kept mine so long. These ain't like Groucho Marx lookalikes. So remember, whenever you got like this dairy thing, milk or whatever, you're making pudding on the stove, you know, try to then use the button a little bit. So I'm turning this down to at least medium, and I'm going to start stirring this because we need to start cooking the grit or the grits. Now, while this is happening, this would be a good time. It's the same thing that I tell people when they're making rice. If they're cooking rice in this stage and they add stock or they add water, this is the good time that you season this right now before it's done cooking. Because then it's too late then when it's over. You should be re-seasoning. This is when you should make sure that that stock tastes the way that you want it, the right salt, whatever. And then we're going to stir this. In a cast iron skillet, I have just some old coffee. Great way to use the coffee. This morning's coffee, we just saved a little bit of that and a little salt and pepper. It's that simple. And this incredible country ham steak. We started this in a cast iron skillet. We started our wonderful ham steak. Yeah, watch this. Oh, yeah. Now, that's a breakfast. Yeah. Hint, hint, Hilda. Now, look, one of the things that I tell people about grits is like when, you know, they start getting so thick, you know, like you can stick the spoon in there like that. Don't panic. It's okay. Basically, here's a little tip I'm going to show you. Now, you don't want to burn your finger, obviously, but basically you can rub your finger along the back of the spoon and you can kind of see. And if they still are hard, like feel like little shells like that, they're not cooked enough. So what happens? Because people panic. They say, well, what am I going to do? It's like, look at it. It's very simple. You just put it back on the stove and you add a little bit more milk, or you can add a little bit more water. Watch. Because you want to be sure that the grits are properly cooked. See, they've loosened up again. Once that dish is finished, and once the ham steak is properly done, okay, which is looking good, basically what happens is that they add, everybody does it a little different. They add a little bit of fresh ground pepper to kick it up a little bit, okay? And then what they'll do is they'll take that coffee and they'll deglaze that ham steak in that coffee like that. And I like to just baste it a little bit and then just kind of let that come. Doesn't that smell good? I know, I'm happy, you know. Serve a little toast with that, you know, little milk, whatever, little espresso. And basically, I'm just going to dish this up for you quick, and that is that you serve it on a platter. Grits in the center like that. We take that ham steak. I know, I'm happy too. Just kind of right over that like that, you see? Oh yeah, babe. And basically what they'll do is they'll just reduce this down a little bit because they'll get a little bit of them ham particles. They'll just reduce it out a little bit, and then what they'll do is they'll just put a little bit of that red-eye gravy. That's what they call that right there, red-eye gravy. So now you got a little southern dish, a little dish from Tennessee right there, okay? All right, there we go.